Hi, all you SP-me's out there. Today's question has 3 answers, and the third answer is a secret you're going to want to stick around for because it will tell you how to not waste money when getting help with your Amazon Kindle self-publishing. So let's get into it. The question that was sent to me today is where to find Amazon Kindle self-publishing help. Now, this is an excellent question, and many people have this exact same question because when you're first getting started, you'll notice there are tons of websites and resources and courses and coaching and YouTube channels and podcasts on self-publishing, and some of the information they're saying is similar and some of it contradicts other information that's being passed out. Some of it is free and some of it costs you a great deal of money. Some of it is simple and some is very complex and complicated when you're first getting started. It makes it confusing trying to figure out where should you start with your self-publishing. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Well, if you would like for me to create more videos like this one, click the subscribe button. And if you would like to kickstart your self-publishing or make sure you're not skipping any steps, go ahead and click my self-publishing checklist below, the link to that. It's a free checklist, and it will help you make sure your self-publishing is being done as effectively as possible. So let's get into it. When I first started self-publishing, I started with using books, then I moved to Facebook groups, then I moved to the next one was podcasts, YouTube channels. There was a whole series of different resources that I was listening to and watching. Some of them were giving me misinformation and telling me things that weren't true, whereas others were giving me little bits of true nuggets that I was able to use in order to start selling thousands of books. Now, the important thing is that by trying and testing out, I could figure out what was going to work for me. It wasn't necessarily that people were lying to me as I was moving along. It's just that they had maybe started their self-publishing at an earlier period of time. And so it wasn't completely clear that the methods that they had learned previously were still working today. And that's a little bit of the clue. So where to find Amazon Kindle self-publishing help? Let's get into the answers. So the first is there are plenty of great YouTube channels that will tell you how to get started, including this one. You can use the comments below to ask questions. Somebody like myself who's published over 170 books and continues to publish books today, I already have done that, and so I'm able a little bit further along the journey to answer your questions. There are plenty of other channels as well that do similar things. Sometimes they'll have information that's a little different or a little more complex. Here at this channel, I like to keep things as simple as possible, but other people like to go a little bit deeper in depth. But I find that if you go too fast and too deep, like many people go, you get confused, and if you confuse, you're going to lose. So you need to make sure that you're focused down on keeping things simple until you're ready for the next step. So that's the first thing I found. The next is you can find groups of self-publishers who are actually selling tons of books on Facebook forums. Some of these Facebook forums are associated with YouTube channels as well, and others aren't. But when you get in there, you'll begin to see exactly what's going on. But I have to warn you, there's also a lot of misinformation. There are many aspiring writers who are publishing or in these groups, and they're sharing information about putting out free promotions and other things like that, or trying to sell to each other, to other authors. And this is a terrible way to go about doing it, as opposed to building up traction and going for the long game. And so I find in general there are 2 types of people you're going to find in many of these groups. The first group are the people who are the dedicated writers. Their whole focus is just writing quality books and hoping they sell. The second group are people who understand that your books are not going to market themselves, no matter how high the quality of your books are. You're still going to need to do marketing yourself. And these are the groups you're going to want to be a part of. They're going to tell you how to make as much money as humanly possible from the books that you're doing. They're even going to focus on how exactly to find the right keywords. For example, for me, I use KDSpy, which you can find below in the description. That's the primary tool I use to find the keywords I'm going to use even in my title, and maybe even the niche that I'm going to be writing books in, to make sure that I'm not just writing books for myself, but I'm writing books for an audience of readers who want to read exactly what I have to share. So that's another type of mistake that people can make. The third answer, and the secret answer of today, is don't waste your money paying thousands of dollars for these massive courses that have broken down into 50 different subtopics and telling you all of the things you need to do, and they're trying to push products on you and all of this sort of stuff that you just don't need to do when you're getting started. The overwhelm will make it hard for you to get through the 85 modules, and each module having multiple videos. It just gets very confusing. So I would recommend you stay away from these sorts of courses. It's better to just keep things simple, as we do here, keep things easy in the beginning, and slowly progress and learn the skills that you're going to need in order to sell thousands of books. But first, we start with selling one book at a time. The other thing is, we don't need to spend thousands of dollars on coaching. And I've noticed some of the top courses that get a lot of attention recently, they're charging, I think it was $1,900 or something like that. This is completely unnecessary when you're first getting started. So it's better to try to keep things simple. Don't put out a lot of money in the beginning. Pay what's necessary to get it done. Getting a good cover, like I use Fiverr, as you see below in the description. I can show you exactly who I use for doing my covers. I use a program called Jutoh, which is rather cheap, down below in the description. It shows you how to do the formatting. And this is one of the things that I look at. How can we do this process cheaply to get you started on your self-publishing journey? So, where to find Amazon Kindle self-publishing help? Well, what have you found? Have you found other places to get help that maybe I haven't even included in here? There are so many places on the internet to do it. Go ahead and leave below in the comments where exactly you have found to get your self-publishing help. I would very be interested. I'm learning continually as well. And if you'd like to see more answers to your self-publishing questions made easy, go ahead and check above in the playlist that's above my head. Thanks.